there are either new policies need to be enforced, or new policies need to be revised to make sure that those things don't happen again. And much like the director said, maybe there needs to be a look at some biometrics, so that any guards coming in or leaving the prison need to either check by fingerprint or by retina scan to make sure that we know who exactly is leaving, so that we can account for everyone inside the walls of the prison.
Today's meeting just a first step?
I believe so, and I think that next step is going to be either JPR or state agencies, but I do think that this is the first step for legislative oversight of this issue.
Do you really think that you need to bring it before a committee with subpoena power? I mean, why do you think that's necessary?
Well, I think it's going to be necessary for us to bring the board here. Of course, I drove up from Texarkana today hoping that I would be able to talk to board members. They didn't come. Both the state agencies committee and the joint performance review have subpoena power, so if that's what we need to do, I anticipate that there will be a movement to refer this matter to one of those two committees so that we can review this matter with subpoena power.
It seems like a lot of the legislators had questions on, obviously the meeting minutes didn't reflect any discussion about these incidents. Does that concern you as well then? Or?
No, what does concern me though is that there are several instances that have taken place that are not being sufficiently reported to lawmakers, and so we need to find out whether or not new policies need to be developed to allow us to be able to do our jobs and determine whether or not policy is being followed within the department.
Is that really the issue though? Harrelson said that the policies weren't the issue reporting or otherwise, but there probably wants to be the implementation of that. Isn't that his job?
I agree with the director in some of these instances that policy is not the problem. However, there are obviously not sufficient policies if the guards or inmates are able to mask themselves as guards and walk straight out of the prison. We need to develop new policies using technology if possible to make sure that whoever leaves the prison is who they say they are. So if it's going to require biometrics, then that's what needs to be implemented. And if they need funding for that, then I'm going to champion that cause to make sure that the department has enough funding to ensure that the public at large that they're doing their job there within the Department of Corrections.
But in reaction to Nora saying that some of the guards may be complacent, is not.
I can understand that. Just like the governor said, these are isolated incidents. These are not out of line with what has taken place in other states. But they need to be on guard at all times. And what we've seen is if you let your guard down for one day, what can happen? So hopefully that is a large part of it. But something needs to take place to make sure that the policies are being followed every single day of the year, and not just when they feel like being complacent and not.
So Senator Ferris brought up the idea of at the proper time, the JPR review. So when is the proper time?
Well, I think time is to make a motion now. Apparently the senator, the chairman, Senator Glover, wants to call another meeting of this committee and bring the governor board here. Unfortunately, this committee does not have subpoena power, so we don't have the authority to bring them here. However, Senator Ferris does chair the Interim State Agencies Committee. He has the subpoena power. So does the Joint Performance Review, which has historically been used as the investigative committee for the interim for the legislature. So one of those two committees should be referred this matter, and it should happen today or the next meeting of this committee.
Harrelson, most of the board is here today. Magnus, the chairman, isn't, but I think 4 or 5 other board members are. Why not talk to them today? Why not talk to Vice Chairman Ray Parker?
It's like Senator Hendren said. He thinks that he wants to talk to the entire board at once. I saw several board members sitting in the back of the room. I saw Leroy Brownlee there. I saw Magnus there. So, I guess it's up to most of the legislators decided that they don't want to talk to one without talking to all of them. Specifically, I'd like to talk to the chairman of the board. But then again, the Board of Correction is just one piece of the equation here, and we need to determine whether or not the department as a whole needs to develop new policies to protect the people of Arkansas.